They were born, lived, and died, and only one girl dared to ask why. They called it Halem, a quiet little town nestled between hills that didn't appear on any map. The people were kind, everything was ordinary, and yet something was deeply wrong, because no one in Halem ever looked at the sky. Not once. It wasn't just habit, it was law. The signs were everywhere, eyes down, ask anyone why, and they'd shrug. It's always been that way, they'd say. But Lena wasn't like the others. Do not gaze above, sharp, stubborn, and filled with the kind of restless curiosity that small towns try to crush. She used to ask her grandmother questions. What color is the sky? Why do we fear something we've never seen? Her grandmother would only smile, then whisper, "You'll understand when the wind stops." Lena never understood what that meant, until the day the wind truly did stop. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. That night, Lena woke with a jolt. The silence was unnatural, heavy and tense, like something waiting. She slipped out of bed, wrapped in her grandmother's scarf, and crept through the sleeping town, past the school where the windows never opened, to the old clock tower where no one ever went. Behind the bakery, hidden beneath roots and stone, was a rusted iron gate. Her grandmother had given her the key. It clicked open with a soft groan. Beyond it was a narrow path, lined with dying trees, leading up to a single hill that stood apart from the town, as if it too were afraid. At the top was a circular stone platform. In its center, a large mirror, cracked and ancient, lying flat like a pool of frozen water. Words were carved around its edge. "Do not face the sky." And for the first time in her life, Lena looked up. A face so massive it filled the sky. Its skin was gray stone etched with lines like rivers. It was as if the sky itself, everything, was the lid of a jar. And the face was watching. Its mouth was sealed shut. The sky wasn't a sky. And Lena, they all were inside something. She fell to her knees, staring. A golden ancient ceiling, larger than any house, stared directly at her. The mirror below her began to glow. A low hum rose from the stone beneath her feet. And in her head, and the voice, it blinked. "You have awakened." Behind her in the town, lights flickered on. People stepped outside, confused, barefoot in pajamas, drawn by something they didn't understand. Doors creaked open, and one by one, they looked up. A child laughed, too young to be afraid. Halem wasn't a town in the hills. It was a specimen sealed inside a dome, observed by something vast, something old and unknowable. And Lena was the first to see. She turned to the mirror again. It was no longer showing her reflection. Instead, it showed a second dome, another town, another group of people. Thousands, tiny little worlds, stacked and observed. And as the eye above them began to fade, and beyond that, she whispered, "More domes. We forgot the sky." Because sometimes, the truth isn't meant to comfort you. Sometimes it's meant to wake you up. And I won't look away. But I remember now,